In my opinion, there are two key aspects to a great instrument. The first is the sound, because if the sound isn't there to begin with, you are never going to engage with it and you are never going to have a decent relationship with it. The second is a more physical thing, and this largely boils down to the architecture and flow and feel of the instrument. This is an area that's fascinated me, and anyone who's had a relationship with, say, an Oberheim 8 voice or a Mini Moog will tell you that there's an instinctive process to creating sounds with them. After a while, you know exactly where to reach, and you know exactly what to touch, almost subconsciously. And when you make this connection with an instrument, the creative process becomes an intrinsic part of you. Good sound design is as much art as it is science, and like all good art, it's led by a combination of feel, taste, emotion and nuance. I think it's fair to say that because of this lack of tactile control, an instinctive process has been imperfect when it comes to software. And although we've had generic controllers for many years, there's still a mental translation that needs to be made when making an association between a certain knob on your generic controller and a parameter on the instrument you wish to control. With the touch digital controller, nearly every main synth parameter of impOSCar2 is mirrored on the controller itself. And because of this direct correlation, the feel, nuances and captivating elements of working with an instrument, as opposed to against it, quickly absorb the user. Performances become second nature, and because the controller is robust enough to take on the road and the knobs are of similar quality to classics such as the Prophet 5, there's a superbly engaging process that takes place when you interact with it and the impOSCar2. Instead of tying your brain up trying to make associations, you make connections. Connections with the instrument's sound, a connection with the process, to the point where you start forgetting about screens and instead your ears come to the fore. There's a luxury to all of this on so many levels. Too many controllers nowadays seem to compete on a cheaper is better vibe, but that isn't the case here because the touch digital controller is handcrafted with an emphasis on pristine quality, and it really does have a beautiful feel to it. And as we all know, feel is vital, because does it feel right and does it sound right are instinctive thoughts to a creative mind. And the truth is, when these two key aspects marry, you step into a world of instinctive creativity. And that's when magic really happens. You move away from the obvious and step into a world of nuance and discovery. And that's where I'm heading right now, because this one's mine, bought and paid for.